Indian National Award-winning filmmaker Nandita Das has approached Partition twice. First as an actor living it in 1947 Earth, and then as a director unpacking its aftermath in Manto. And today, in an interview with WION's Kriti Tosiani, Das shares what she saw, felt, and carried while making both the films. Take a look at the special segment of India at 80.
One of my all-time favorite Partition films was Garam Hawa, and I watched it again. It was remastered and I watched it again, and it's crazy how it touches and moves you even today and how relevant it is. When we say partition stories, we are not talking about statistics. We are not talking about just the migration, or we are not talking about just the violence. We are talking how it impacted each person, each family. And I think that will always resonate. That will always be sort of, universal. It will have a universal resonance. Day of Independence is both about freedom and about the pain of partition. You cannot separate these two things that happen simultaneously. And each person is carrying that pain and that story. And, sometimes you worry because if these films weren't there or these literature wasn't there, how would you document? How would people in the next generations, how will they even know what happened during that time? They would only probably think, okay, 1947, there was a partition, we got our independence, and now we are a free country. It's not so simplistic. At least for me, I think films are about, challenging those prejudices. Films are about telling those uncomfortable truths, right? Films are about relooking at what you've gone through and learning from it. Films are about triggering these ideas and emotions and all of that. So in some sense, how can you not respond to something that almost feels like it's unfinished business, right? Like we haven't really learned from partition. So how can we not tell those stories? Like we see in the West, the Holocaust stories continue. Shanta's character, if you remember, she's a simple woman. She's working for this Parsi family. She has a group of friends. She's flirting with some of these men, but there's innocence. Sometimes the enormity of violence or the politics of it is not something that at an individual level you're even thinking about or you even know. Like a lot of people may not know, not understand the repercussion or where it's stemming from. You just see that a friend betrayed you or a friend helped you. So in that sense, her character was with a certain innocence. And that's the tragedy of, events like the partition, that so many innocent lives get destroyed forever. Because I remember there was this scene where we are on a terrace, Amir Khan's character, Rahul Khanna's, and Lenny, the little girl, her character and mine, we are all sort of standing and seeing violence, seeing a man's legs being tied to two different jeeps and are being torn apart. It was a very, very violent scene, and there is, houses burning and all of that. When I saw the film, I had to sort of look away.
विश्वास नहीं हो रहा कि हमारा मुल्क आजाद है।
तुम एक आजाद हिंदुस्तान में पैदा हो गए।
As you grow up, you understand complexities better. When I did it, it was more like an event that happened. It was more historical. But I think the personal and the political, that understanding probably grew by the time I did Manto. And also I was an actor there. I was sort of more focused on my role and, the world around me. Whereas by the time I did Manto, it was everything was important. And Manto as a person, the world he inhabited at the time, what was happening in Bombay, especially because he was really from here. And he said that he was a Bombay writer. He said, I don't know what India is, what is Pakistan. I love the city of Bombay and, I'm a writer from here. So it was the whole world that I was trying to understand during Manto, which was, I think, a much more immersive and a much more challenging, but a much more satisfying experience. I don't think there is a clear graph between, let's say, Garam Hawa and Main Wapas Aunga. I mean, it's not like, with every decade the film is changing. I mean, it really depends on the filmmaker and what aspect of Partition do they want to. Is it about longing? Is it about memory? Is it about pain? Is it about injustice? What is it about? It really will. I mean, Partition stories, I think, will continue, and as they should, till we don't learn the hard lesson.